38-year-old Deputy Will May managed to shoot and kill the gunman. That suspect of the shooting was pronounced dead at the scene. Our Haley Samples was at the sheriff's press conference tonight. We're trying to make contact with her right now. Haley, are you with me? There you are. Haley, I know you were at the press conference and just an emotional night all the way around.
Yeah, that's right, Bob. It was a very emotional moment. It's here tonight, and the Deputy May was not even scheduled to work today. The sheriff himself fighting back tears as he described the moments that led up to the incident. Now, Deputy May responded to the scene just after 2 o'clock this afternoon. Officials say May made the stop on his way home. Now, this was his last call for the day as he was working overtime to give assistance to the department. Officials say May approached the suspect and had a brief conversation, asking the suspect to leave the store. In just a matter of seconds after exiting the building, the suspect fired multiple rounds at Deputy May. Now, May fired back, and the suspect died on the scene. Officials say May was wearing a bulletproof vest, which protected him from many of the shots fired. But just one of those bullets slid beneath the vest, striking May. Now, he was transported to North Okaloosa Medical Center and spent 4 hours in surgery. He died from the gunshot wound just after 7 o'clock tonight.
I am struggling on behalf of this organization to make sense of this, because I can tell you there is absolutely nothing tactically wrong that Deputy May did. I've been in this business 32 years. There is nothing I would have done differently. There was no indication whatsoever that this would have ended in that kind of violence.
Walton County Sheriff Michael Atkinson says today's disturbance would not have ended up in an arrest. Officials have not released the name of the suspect. And earlier, we reported a portion of Highway 90 was shut down near the scene on Lancelot Road. Officials say all roadways are back open. And the sheriff says Deputy May was a husband and a father of 2 teenagers. May is also a second-generation member of the department. His father was an assistant fire chief, and his mother was a former dispatcher. May joined the department in 2014 and later became a deputy in 2019. The sheriff says the main thing right now is to honor his service and his sacrifice. Live in Walton County, I'm Haley Samples, WEAR News.
Haley, thank you. Deputy May's body was taken to Sacred Heart Hospital in Pensacola tonight. This was the scene on Interstate 10 a short time ago. A long line of law enforcement vehicles. We didn't get confirmation, but we strongly believe this is the deputies accompanying Deputy May on the drive from Walton County tonight. And based on information on the Officer Down Memorial page website, May is the 4th member of the Walton County Sheriff's Office to die in the line of duty, and the first since Sheriff Robert Gatlin was gunned down in 1942.
All right, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, all praises due to the Most High. And this is probably yet another story that you have not heard about, but this happened this year in Defruniak Springs, where 58-year-old Tim Mark Jarvinen, or something like that, shot that deputy, William May. And of course, they didn't show you a picture of him, but I'll show you a picture of this killer, this cold-blooded killer who shot a deputy just for asking him to leave a Dollar General. Now, that is him right there. They said he lived less than 3 minutes from the Dollar General and rode down there on his bike. And when the officer, there was some sort of disturbance, and they told him to leave, and then he just pulled out his gun and started shooting at the officer. Unprovoked, very violent, very cowardly, very savage, all of those derogatory terms. But you never heard any of those things expressed during that news video. Only thing you heard was about the sympathy of the officer and his tenure. But let me just show you this other news article that does identify, once again, Tim Mark Jarvinen, or whatever his name is, 58 years old. It does identify him, but they talk about him like he is a choir boy. Watch how they talk about him in this article. So look at this right here. They have a suspect identified as Timothy Jarvinen in fatal shooting of Walton County Deputy William May. Now you see this, it happened in Defruniak Springs, and we'll get into that a little bit later. He has been identified as 58-year-old Timothy Mark Jarvinen. He reportedly rode a bicycle to the score from his residence on Shakespeare Court, which is located nearby. As deputy was escorting Jarvinen out of the Dollar General, Jarvinen pulled a firearm and opened fire, prompting Deputy May to return fire. Both men were struck during the exchange. Jarvinen was pronounced dead at the scene, while Deputy May succumbed to his injuries shortly thereafter. Now watch this right here. During a press conference held Wednesday night, Walton County Sheriff Mike Atkinson Jr. spoke on Jarvinen's background. You might as well say it on Jarvinen's behalf, noting that the suspect had no prior criminal history or indications of violent behavior. Jarvinen has reportedly a concealed weapons permit holder, and a subsequent search of his residence revealed additional firearms, though none had been used in any previous crimes. He had other weapons in his residence when we searched it, but nothing to indicate violence. In fact, he had not been arrested by this organization. Court records confirm that Jarvinen had no previous arrests in Walton County or broader Northwest Florida region. His only prior involvement with the court system included 2 civil cases, both related to financial matters. Sheriff Atkinson further explained that Jarvinen had been a resident of the area for several years and that local law enforcement had interacted with him on a few occasions, primarily for minor concerns such as welfare checks. Like, the way they're talking about him in this article, it's almost as if they are that he survived the shooting and he's in jail and they're trying to let the judge give him a bond. Like, they said nothing bad about this man, even though he shot a deputy who was doing overtime on his day off, on his way home, and took the call because this man wouldn't leave the store. And they basically talk about him like they are trying to get him into the Hall of Fame of citizenship in Defruniak Springs, Florida. Like, I mean, when these white people kill cops, there is no vilification of their criminality. Only promotion of their goodness, it seems to me. And if you're familiar with Defruniak Springs, that is the place where Sifo Bennett, a young black man, is currently in jail awaiting trial for on one count of murder and attempted murder after defending himself against some white boys who were following him in a truck, who were calling him racial slurs, who left and came back. He actually hid in the store waiting for them to leave. And when they would not leave, they came in the store bothering him. They would not leave. He feared for his life. And they were outside of the truck taunting him, and he pulled out his firearm and shot him. Killed one of them, and, the other one lived. However, they did have a firearm in the car. And the clerks at the store said that these guys were harassing him, intimidating him. Florida is notorious for the stand your ground law with no duty to retreat if you feel like your life in danger. Nevertheless, that does not work for Mr. Bennett. So we're going to bring you some updates on that case. But once again, this is just the duality of the implementation or the enforcement or the ability to carry out the rights that are afforded in some citizens and the other. This man committed cold-blooded murder, and they're treating him as a saint. Sifo Bennett defended himself, and he's on trial for the rest of his life. Y'all tell me, is Lady Justice not blind, or as Malcolm Jamal Warner says, she definitely needs glasses? But y'all let me know what y'all think about this story in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And as always, peace and blessings. Scripture says all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. Let's go. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide into Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news don't mud it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune into Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now, but